Elevation
Nation. Nice. That was good.
Feeling some type of way. You know, something that we always, if we're sticking to our values here, Elevation Nation, we have always said that we like to have real conversations. We like to have vulnerable conversations. We like to have real conversations. Did I just say real conversations twice? I might have said that twice. It's okay. Real times
Extra real.
It's extra real. Yeah. Be
real.
No.
Damn.
Screw be real. We should name that app Be Fake, because you have to be fake to be real, which doesn't really make sense. Okay. I have my thoughts. But
sometimes when you go into these spiels, you have like such a monotone, deadpan voice that I actually feel like you could be a professional comedian, like a Bo Burnham style.
Maybe I am.
Maybe you're training.
Maybe I am. Maybe people are sitting there laughing right now as
I
I'm
certainly
speaking.
Do.
Yeah. Well, today's episode of Fortitude in 15 is sponsored by Sam Panitch. So I'm going to pass it to Sam.
Yeah, I'm going to be like Drake tonight. We're going to get in my feels. No, I had a really long day at work, a little stressful on a new project. And Parker and I got a lot going on, a lot of exciting things going on. We actually just got asked to go speak publicly, our first paid out of the country, or out of the state speaking gig, which is really exciting. And so we're prepping for that. And we also, Parker was living his romantic life in Morocco, and I was stuck in Savannah being a bum. We made a lot of progress together on our FY 2023
plans. He says stuck
plans.
in Savannah. Just letting everyone know that. Stuck in Savannah. It's not a bad place to be stuck.
Certainly not. But we made a lot of progress on what we wanted to get done in 2023. And it's already a month in. And I think a lot of people...
You made a lot of progress, is what you're saying.
Just because I did it, then we talked about it. What I do is then you. If you agreed to it, which you did. We had a whole recap meeting on 2023, and we loved it. Parker liked the direction we were headed. I loved the direction we were headed. We had a lot of good brainstorming sessions and a lot of good ideas. And I think like many people who set these, I know we said we didn't set New Year's resolutions. They weren't. It was a plan for a business, 2023. We had a lot of these set out. It's already almost a month in, and we've gotten sidetracked. We've gotten busy with regular work, and we've gotten sidetracked a bit with something that's awesome, our public speaking. And so all this exciting stuff that we wanted to roll out to Elevation Nation within the first month or two has now taken a hit on the back burner. And unfortunately, we both are getting busier and busier. Parker's taking a shit ton of trips, kids skiing every 3 days, going to tear his ACL, and we're not going to have time to work on this anymore. And that...
Knock on wood, bro. You just put that in the universe like that?
I knocked.
Talk about me never doing anything if I have to be in freaking rehab all the time.
Yeah, that'd be bad. All right, don't tear your ACL, but you're skiing a lot, which makes me jealous because I don't know how. But anyway, it's tough because you make all these things that you're really excited about. You want to roll them out, but sometimes you have roadblocks and setbacks. And that's what I want to talk about today is what do you do when you run into these roadblocks and how do you overcome them? For me, I tend to try to take back control of things that I don't have control of. And to do that, I break things down into tangible steps and tasks that I want to accomplish. That's how I get control back. But I'm curious, like Parker, what do you do to manage some of those setbacks and roadblocks? Do you ignore them and push them to the side and be like, oh, we'll figure it out later and try to not worry about it? Do you also plan and strategize? Do you just do the first thing on your list? Like, how do you tend to manage some of that stuff?
Well, I want to ask you more questions on this, Sam, before I go into
save my question.
Yeah, save your questions. I want to ask you questions about why you're feeling this certain way. And, you know, it's first of all, it's who you are. I mean, you like, we set this up via expectation, right? We set the expectation that we want to get a lot done. And first of all, the month is not almost over. It's only January 19th. Okay. That's 2/3 of the month. It's not almost. We're getting there. It's 66% of the way there. That's not 100% of the way there. But my question to you is, like, what is that feeling like? Describe that feeling that you're feeling right now a little bit more.
I feel disappointed because I want to get more done.
Okay.
And
so where is that?
Go ahead.
Go. Where is that disappointment coming from? Are you disappointed in yourself? Are you disappointed in me? Are you disappointed in Elevation Nation? Are you disappointed in...
Yeah, I'm disappointed in both of us. I think we say all the time that we can make time. And sometimes the reality is we can, but we don't. And so I'm disappointed that we didn't make some sacrifices earlier in this month to try to get more stuff done.
Okay. So you're disappointed that we weren't able to get more stuff done, right? And
Yeah.
Elevation Nation, I hope this applies to any, way you think about your life and what you're trying to get done as well. Obviously, this isn't just Sam and my strategy little session here. No, this is hopefully of use to you all as well. So back to the conversation. So you want to get all these things done, and you feel disappointed in us because we haven't done that. But where is that disappointment coming from? Like, what is that thing that you're feeling fulfilled with? You'll feel fulfilled if we check the box. You'd feel fulfilled if this thing grew. You'd feel fulfilled if you're not feeling like Elevation Nation is making the impact. You're making an impact.
Yeah, checking the box. We said, like, we want to stack all these cool new things. Whether they're successful or not, I don't actually care about as much. What I want us to do is execute them and try. Because I think we'll never know until we try. And so typically, not that it's procrastination, but the longer we wait, the harder it is to pick back up where we left off and continue that momentum. And so we made a lot of momentum over winter break and the holidays that we just have lost. And it's not anyone's fault. We got not sidetracked. We got a great opportunity presented to us, and we've shifted our attention there. And what I want to do now that we are in a little bit of a waiting period on that piece is figure out how to take that excitement from this speech that we're giving and take all that free time that we have this week and put it into the stuff that we said we were going to do the past 2 weeks. That excites me. Because think about how much progress we can make then. We have a speech and we roll out things for FY23. That's awesome.
I think that is awesome. But what's wrong with, hypothetically speaking, I wish I'm on the same boat. Hopefully, we can continue to push forward on those things that we talked about at the beginning of the year. However, what happens if those things, the box doesn't get checked? Is it a now thing, or is it you'll look back in 6 months and you'll say 6 months was a waste of time?
If we don't do it, are you saying?
If the boxes don't get checked.
Yeah, I think it's a waste of effort that we spent a lot of time over break if we don't execute on things. Totally. For example, right? We 2 years ago tried to make an app, and I spent probably close to 80 hours trying to learn how to code an app. And we didn't end up doing anything with the app. Was that a waste of time? No, we learned some things, but was it? Yeah. I probably should have spent that time doing something else. And so it's figuring out how we can strategically get the most done that we can in the free time that we have, or making free time, maybe making sacrifices that we don't want to make more free time. How do we do that and execute these things?
Do you give yourself any credit that you've already given a lot of sacrifices to what we do over the last 3 years?
Yeah, but that's not part of this, right?
Why not? I'm just curious. This is a question.
I've celebrated those before. That's great. If I'm a true elevator, after I celebrate, I elevate again. I don't just say, oh, well, I elevated in the past. And that's, I think, what makes us different and what drives us is we want to continue to do more.
Okay. And so back to our checking of the boxes. We check all the boxes. Where are we at? Where do you see the boxes if we check all of them?
Mm-hmm.
We're at whenever it happens. where are we at?
We've progressed. We've added stacks to our repertoire, right? We started with just a podcast. Now we have a newsletter. Now we're making a virtual community. Now we've prepared a speech. Then we're going to have networking events. Then we're going to do in-person events. Then we're going to have apparel, right? Like we have all these things that we're adding on that is cool. Like we get to say that we've done X, Y, or Z. We also get to provide that value for Elevation Nation, right? And so that's what's really exciting for me, is to start to add some of those, because I think the value we can provide to other people, whether it's perfect or not, is super cool. Like we now finally, after 2 years, have a community that's waiting. They're chomping at the bit to meet each other, to learn, to grow, to meet other elevators. And we haven't been able to deliver yet. That excites me, to be able to deliver that for them.
Okay. I think that makes sense. So
how do you feel about it?
How do I feel about it?
I know you've been extremely busy with work, overwhelming.
I think
you've gone
I've
on a lot of
been
trips. How have you been? Have you been okay? How have you felt? Have you felt overwhelmed?
I mean, you remember our conversation the other week, right? I mean, I basically broke down.
Yeah.
Because I was overwhelmed with not one thing in particular, just a lot of things, and the idea of where we're taking this. And it wasn't a bad thing. It was a good thing. And I think it was half like, damn, how are we still here? But then the other half, it's like we spent a lot of time, and my expectations of where we would have been might looked very different 2 years ago than it does right now. But to your point, Sam, I mean, it's difficult. It's twofold. And I think, it takes a lot of mental fortitude to like sit down and really think like, what do I value with my time? It comes down to time for me, and it's difficult because there's only a certain amount of time in the day. Obviously, during the work week, a certain amount of our day is taken up by the work that we have to do. I prioritize my health and my wellness, and that takes up another part of the day. But I also prioritize family and my personal life, such as hanging out with my girlfriend, which takes up another part of the day. And then I prioritize, of course, this, Elevation Nation, which takes up another part of the day. And what's really difficult about that is I also left out just my self-time, my alone time to just sit and read or watch a TV. Like, I don't watch TV anymore. Like, I just don't have time. I literally have no time in the day. I said to JJ last week, I think I had 2 hours to actually just sit down and like sit on the couch, not doing anything in a whole week. That's crazy to think about, right? And so the reason why I broke down is like, I love free time, but there's also time I feel like I'm just languishing. I'm in the middle. I'm in between being able to, like, I'm in the mindset that I'm doing this thing, but I'm not doing it at my full capability. And it takes a lot of effort to do something at 100%. And the challenge that I'm having right now is that there's all these things going on, and something is going to give. And there's something that is at the expense of something else. So, am I excited about my trips coming up? Of course. Am I excited about the things that are happening in my personal life coming up? Of course. Am I excited about my work? Yes. Am I excited about where Elevation Nation is going? Of course. The challenge with elevating, in my eyes, has been figuring out the balance of all of these great things. Because if you have too many good things going your way, I think there's fear that one will like just go away eventually. And I think maybe that's contributing a little bit to the languishing piece. It's like I got to put my toes in here with Elevation Nation. I got to put my toes in here, obviously, with work. Got to put my toes here with family. Got to put my toes here with travel. Got to put my toes here with reading. And it's like, if I'm only half-assing it all, am I doing it at all any justice?
Yeah. Deep introspective points, man. And I think that's part of the challenge and the exciting part of running a company, trying to build something, especially with a friend. We run into it all the time, but I'm grateful that we get to have these conversations, figure out how we're feeling, and hopefully Elevation Nation, if you guys are going through a similar feeling, like Parker and I didn't prep this. I literally came on and said, dude, I'm stressed about the lack of progress we're making. And Parker was like, let's talk about it. So that was like as raw as it gets. We were going to do this after, and we just did it now. So hopefully you guys learned something from it, made you feel not alone with some of the feelings that you're feeling. But I think it's time. We got to give some elevator shout outs to truly wrap an F15. I got a real special one from a lovely elevator in New York City, the one and only Liv Schreiber. Liv has her Hot and Social event January 27th. It's coming up. If you've never been to a Hot and Social event, she essentially brings some of the most friendly, unique, interesting people in New York City, young adults, elevator style, brings them in, and they have an event. It's a mixology class followed by a party. So she's going to have some great people there. And a lot of elevators are going, which is so dope. And if I'm going to be in New York for work, I'm definitely coming through. So if you want to learn more, follow Liv Schreiber, check out her Hot and Social platform, and sign up.
All right, Sammy, I got mine real quick. Could you find elevator Elgin, please? His number? Elgin Ford Jr. Also
102.
102 also goes by the name of Elgin Elevator 102. Man, I've been following him on TikTok and Reels, and maybe not a big milestone to him, but I think this is a pretty cool milestone. He amassed more than 350,000 views on some of his videos that he's been putting out, and he's just been getting really vulnerable, getting on the camera, which is so difficult to do, exercising mental fortitude to just sing into the camera and seeing how it goes. And people are reacting. People want more Elgin. I want more Elgin. And I'm so pumped for him because he's just doing incredible things, and he'll continue to elevate. And I'm sure of it. In 5 years,
I was on a walk the other day, Parker.
Yeah.
And I put on Elgin's album and was just jamming on my walk. I texted him. I was like, bro, you got me in such a good mood right now. I'm in my feels. I'm on a walk. Kid's talented. We love you, Elgin.
Well, Ebenezer's music pops up on my phone all the time when I'm like working out.
Big man.
I'm like,
we got some talented musicians in the nation, man.
That's what I'm doing. I'm bouncing.
Big man.
Just waiting for something simple to put something out where I can go.
In due time. Them and Jackson Dreyer and Cole Bauer. We got the whole crew. All right, Elevation Nation. We love you. Until next week. Peace.